Okay, let's get started. Welcome to the webinar today. Thank you for joining me. I'll be talking about noise barriers, QuietMod, industrial modular panel systems. My name is Karl Lee. I am the National Sales Manager for Noise Barriers. A little bit about my background. I started in automotive, NVH, spent about 7 years there, and migrated to active noise canceling for 4 years. And joined Noise Barriers 2 years ago in their sound control products, mainly handling their OEM accounts. A little bit about what we're going to talk about today in the next 12 slides, about the mod panel itself, the construction of it, how does it work, and how it goes together. Some of the applications where we see these mod panels used for barrier walls or enclosures, so applications. And then finally, I'll finish with a couple of case studies. If you guys have any questions, guys or girls have any questions, please go ahead and type in your question in the question bar, and I can either answer it during the presentation or be happy to afterwards. Thank you. So what is the modular panel? As you can, as we use the acronym MOD panel or modular panel, we make a series of panels that are anywhere from 2 inches to 4 inches thick, all the way up to 10 inches thick, depending on what type of STC value you are looking to attain. These panels, as you can see here, range from HP 38, which is an STC 38 rating, and this is depicting a 2-inch thick panel, up to these series of 4 other panels to the right of it that are 4 inches thick, ranging from STC 42 to 52. The outer skin is 16 gauge, and the inner skin is 22 gauge, usually perforated. The performance, as you can see from this table, hopefully it's visible, is, as I said, 2-inch thick up to an STC of 38, all the way up to an HH, which simply means a hard surface. So HP would be hard perf, HH would be hard. So inner and outer shell do not have perforations. Up to a 10-inch thick panel would give you an STC of 59. So one of the things we pride ourselves with this product line is the ease of assembly. Most of our products are shipped unassembled. However, we can have pre-assembled structures shipped to you as well. But it basically includes, we include all the steel. So this is just a section of the steel tube connection for the framing to hold the panels. And you can see it's basically assembled using self-tapping screws. This base plate detail shows you how we secure the steel structure to the floor. In this case, this would be concrete. And then the bottom photo here shows you just a little bit of the detail as far as assembling a roof structure to a wall connection using the same type of self-tapping screw, and also using doors. If you're installing doors or windows, which you also provide, you can install a header piece for the door openings. So briefly here, I'd like to play a video for you, and then we can talk a little bit about some of the mod panel, different assemblies and customization things that we do. So let's go ahead and play the video, and we can continue with the presentation. right, thank you for watching that. That is a typical audiometric room. As you can see how the panels go together relatively easily, and also disassembled, I should mention. That's one of the main features of our product, is that it can be field installed, and an enclosure of that size would take about 3 to 4 days for a crew of 2 people. So in this model that I have on the screen for you, it's the same type of audiometric room. In this case, this is an exploded view that I'm dynamically rotating. Shows you an idea of some of this structural steel that's used for the panels to slide into. And then you can see that there's a roof element to it, as well as floor channel. So relatively a kit room that gives you a very high STC value, and is easily shipped and configured and installed for ease. As I said, pictures are worth 1,000 words. Here's 5 examples of some of the installations we've done over the years on the industrial side of business. You can see in the upper left hand, this is actually a automotive application where we've actually structurally supported the roof to handle industrial sized blowers for ventilation. You can see here there's a couple of STC rated windows. Photo below that is a heavy duty industrial enclosure showing some customized doors. These are 4 foot by 10-foot doors, so we do custom sized doors depending on what your requirements are for the openings. Middle photo here, assembly rooms with standard double leaf doors. So these might be enclosing stamping machines, robots, as you can see this one doorway here, to basically attenuate the noise being generated by that piece of equipment. Another product line for us where our panels are also used are dyno test rooms. We do anything from engine, chassis, motorcycles, whatever type of testing you might do, and we can do custom configurations as far as putting silencers on the roof or behind the building on the floor, depending on your space availability. And then last but not least, we do in the upper right-hand corner here, specialty rooms for if you're using highly sensitive gauges or testing equipment. Our rooms are also very popular for those applications as well. And a few more applications that I didn't mention was test cells, printing plant quiet rooms, quality control test rooms. You can see some thermal spray rooms as well. I mentioned coordinate measuring machine rooms, in some cases factory offices. You know, even at our plant where we have some personnel out in the plant, we do factory offices with our own products, and then quiet rooms, single or double wall, depending on your sound requirements. And I won't go through all these bullets, but we certainly stress that it is a modular system. People have used our mod panels as barrier walls. They can also be used as 2 or 3-sided enclosures with an open enclosure, as I'll show you later in one of our case studies, how we use it in an in-plant automotive stamping application. Obviously, 4-sided enclosure, audiometric room is a good example of that. We have isolated floors available. We can also design silenced ventilation systems, and our panels are A60 galvanized steel, so they're very rust-proof, and we can basically paint to any RAL color that you might have specified. So as I mentioned, the first case study is an example of automotive manufacturing stamping plant. This is an actual plant enclosure where stamping quarter panels for automobiles. These drawings that I've depicted down here are what we would typically submit to the client before we release the product for production. So these are submittal drawings. We will give you CAD 3D renderings. This shows you up here in the upper left-hand corner the structural steel component, basically instructions on how to mount all of the plates, and then eventually assembling the different mod panels, which you can see here, hopefully on your screen, the different sizes and where they go as far as constructing the enclosure itself. So this is a final product of an isometric view of the stamping noise enclosure where this back end is actually open and the plant line continues on behind it. The other case study I'd like to mention is an engine generator acoustical enclosure. This was actually a product that went into Naperville for a backup power generator. We assisted the client as far as not only the design, but also permitting. We designed the heating and ventilation, obviously the fabrication, and we sent our certified installers to complete the project. In this application, the enclosure was unpainted. Since it's a galvanized product, the client chose to use its natural form. So whatever your requirements are, we can certainly assist you even with a seismic and third-party certification. We can also give you a solution from A to Z. And thank you very much for listening to the webinar today. If there's any questions, you can contact me direct cell phone there and email. And thank you for your time today.